Welcome everyone, I'm Amy. I'm an NPC bikini competitor and I'm also a nutritional therapy practitioner. And this is my week 16 bikini prep vlog. Oh, the weeks are flying by as they ever do, and now it feels like fall. So now I feel like I'm sitting here in the dark even though it's before 6 o'clock at night. But all that aside, let's talk about this week. So before we get into anything else, I am going to talk about my Amazon haul in this intro. I got some subscribe and save things this week, and I also ordered some other random things that I'm going to share. And I got a really cool gift package from a friend of mine that I'm going to talk about as well. I do have a chiropractor appointment that I'm going to be sharing footage of. It was actually today, and ooh, boy, did he tear me up. My side where you'll see that he did all the scraping is just, whew, it is on fire still. Like it was swollen. It's swollen. So I'm really excited about the progress we're making there. And I hope the footage I got today was good. I haven't seen it yet, but I hope it was good footage. So without further ado, let's start by talking about my check-in with some check-in photos here and my check-in video from this week. So as I mentioned in my last week video, I definitely am seeing some new levels of leanness, and that is definitely reflected in the feedback from my coach as well. So I'm going to read it just so I don't forget anything or miss anything here. So I sent him my pictures, told him, not a lot to, I said all good in the hood over here, weights holding stable, which it was throughout the week. I feel like I'm leaner and tighter, workout, sleep, energy, mood, all good. I'm happy with the improvements in my rib control and the mobility from the chiropractor session. The marks on my right back are from the cupping. So if you can see those in my check-in photos, that's from the cupping that I had done. It just leaves almost, they look like a really subtle bruise kind of on my upper or my lower back. Upping my posing practice this week and hoping to schedule a posing session. 3.5 weeks out are going to fly by, and they will. He wrote back, "How is hunger?" He said, "You're leaner again. I'm now seeing glutes in a way we just never were. It makes me feel like in the past I was assuming we were as lean as we could get, but you're showing me a new level, like of the leanness," which is true. "Let me know on hunger and energy with body weight holding. I'm fine keeping food where it is, but soon we'll be closer to 200 grams of carbs again," which is exciting news. "Thanks again, looking great." I said, "I agree about the levels of leanness. If I'm able to get this lean next season with more muscle in the right places, it could be a pretty incredible look." And I really am feeling like that. Like this is the leanest I've ever been. And seeing my body be this lean, I kind of see how lean I need to be. I mean, this is as lean as I should be and should have been. But I think with each prep, you're able to kind of maybe push it to a level of leanness that you couldn't get to before. Some of that's just because your body is kind of more ready for it or more accepting of the prep, I think. And also you maybe get a little bit better at it. You get a little better at prepping, but I definitely need to add some muscle this off season. I said, hunger is still notable, but tolerable. Every once in a while I have a thought that I need, and I put AKA want, a refeed or more food, but I know I'm fine. I feel like I'm in a good place, maintaining size and strength. And then he said, I'm assuming with my feedback about hunger, he didn't actually respond about that. So he said, "Any concerns on your part being this lean and seeking 1 more pound of body fat, like trying to push a little bit more?" So I guess there's my answer about the more food. I said that I am feeling good and willing to push a bit more. My biggest concern at this point is making sure we have a controlled reverse. I'm worried that after being this lean for so long, because I did have about 6 weeks in between shows, my body might kind of freak out when we start reversing, especially since I'll be at the Olympia just a few days after my show, which is super exciting. And I know I need to get back to a higher body fat, but I'd like to avoid overshooting or packing on fat too quickly. So he said, "I have zero concern with that knowing you, but it will feel different. You were perfect last year in the process, but this is a solid step further." So good feedback, and just kind of, like I said, I do want to really be mentally prepared for the post-show feelings, especially because I will be at the Olympia just a few days later. So my show's on Saturday and I leave for the Olympia on Wednesday. So just a couple of days to kind of, reground myself and regroup and get ready to be gone, and in a different environment. I did decide to get a VRBO, so I have a kitchen so that I can prep food still. And I know that might seem weird, but just your body's in a pretty delicate place when you come out of a show, and I'll talk about that a lot more once I'm on that other side, once I'm out of prep for the season. So just making sure that I'm kind of mentally prepared and doing everything I can do to make that process as smooth as possible. So that's the feedback from the week. And yeah, not really anything to change this week, which is great. That's next week, I'm sure, is when the changes will probably start happening. And then of course the week after that, and then, oh my gosh, it's peak week. So fun stuff coming. So let's talk about what I got from Amazon. So I did get my subscribe and save order, and then I'd also ordered a couple of other random things. And of course, my fun gift package that I got from my friend. Let's start with the subscribe and save things. Those are the easiest. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot today, so if my voice sounds a little hoarse, it's just because I'm kind of talked out. So my subscribe and save things, the very first one, so this is a dental floss. This is the one that's in the box, and this is what it looks like out of the box. So this is a natural fiber dental floss. I think it's made of coconut, and I love it. It's a little bit thicker than a regular like waxed floss, and like I'm telling you, once you get used to using this, I ran out before my subscribe and save renewed, so I just went back to using like the regular Oral-B floss, and I was like, how do people do this? Like I can't, like it just has more like texture to it, so I feel like it really does a good job of like really getting in between your teeth and like really cleaning them well. So love this floss, and I will link these in the description box below. So I got my floss. I also got, I've talked about this before when I was talking about shaving prep. This is the Cashmere Smooth Skin Sugar Infused Scrub Exfoliator. Love this. I went through a lot of it when I was getting ready for my for my previous show, and I'll be going through a lot more again, so it's good timing that this came in when it did. It's nice because it's not greasy, and it's really helpful for just evening out the tan afterward and prepping for the tan beforehand. I also have body wash on subscribe and save. This is the Summer's Eve body wash, Amber Nights. I like it. I feel like it does a really good job. It's a pH neutral or pH balanced body wash, so it doesn't irritate my skin. And the scent is extremely light. There's some, I leaked a little. I think that's what that is. It smells like it. Yep, that's what that is. So it's a really nice body wash, and it's just really gentle and pH neutral. I have really sensitive skin, and I really, really love the Summer's Eve line. I don't know why it says new. I've been getting it for multiple years, so maybe it's just the size. I don't know, maybe they changed the packaging, but either way, love this body wash. And I got, oh, something's leaking all over my couch. What's leaking? The outtakes, it's the body wash. The body wash leaked all over the couch. Well, that's all right. I'll clean that up later. So I also got, this is a new shampoo. I did put it on subscribe and save just because I got the 15% off discount since I was getting so many other things. This is the Carol's Daughter Black Vanilla. I've heard really great things about this, and it is a line that is approved for curly hair because I do have naturally curly hair. And this is the Luscious Moisture for dry, dull, and brittle hair. I used it for the first time this morning. Didn't love the way my hair looked today, but I also let it air dry, and then I went to the chiropractor and it got kind of fluffed up and weird, so not judging it just yet, but I liked it when I was using it, so there's that. And it smells nice. It doesn't really smell like vanilla all that much, but it has a nice kind of just neutral smell, which is very nice. I've talked about this before on my, way back in the day of my prep hacks, the Dreft bottle and dish soap. So this is a baby bottle dish soap, but it's really great for breaking down protein. That's what it's meant for, like to break down like milk protein or formula proteins. So I use it to clean all of my shaker cups and my blender and basically all my dishes at this point because I just really love it. So got one of those. I also got my tinted hydrator. This is the Wet n Wild tinted hydrator. It does not have SPF, so I actually mix in the morning when I put it on, I mix my SPF in with this just to give a little bit of coverage. It's a tinted hydrator. It's really great on the skin. It has no smell. It's not cakey. It doesn't rub off everywhere. It's really great, and it's really inexpensive. It's like $5, and this lasts me like 4 months because I just use a teeny tiny little dab of it mixed in with sunscreen just to give a little bit of coverage to my very paleness. So that was the subscribe and save, the floss. And then some random things that I got. So I ordered a 4-pack of the lashes I really loved at my show. So these are the Ardell Eye Widening Lift Effect. This was the first time, so wearing these at the show, my last show, was the first time that I really felt like I didn't notice my lashes all day, and I wasn't like dying to pull them off at the end of the day. Usually when I wear fake lashes, like I can tolerate them for a few hours, and then man, like as soon as I get in the car, like I'm pulling them off. And these ones, like I took them off like when I went to bed. Like I'd left them on all day, ate my meal after, had my protein shake, like did all those things, and still wasn't like totally out of my mind to take them off. So I ordered the 4-pack just because I really like them, and I always like having a backup pair. And yeah, so I got 4 of those. Oh, this was a subscribe and save thing. This is on my subscribe and save, are the Downy Light Lavender. These are the in washing machine kind of scented beads, I think is what they call them. They smell really nice. I use a gentle, like try to use an unfragranced laundry detergent, but I do like a little bit of scent. It's nice, especially like on gym clothes, but I don't use any type of fabric softener because they're really bad for tech clothing and just for anything. Like you shouldn't use liquid fabric softeners. They're not good. So I use the scented beads. This huge container, I mean, like you see, it's huge, lasts me a really long time, like 6 months, but get that on subscribe and save as well. All right, a couple of random things that I got. So when Amazon ships things, they put my subscribe and save stuff in with like just other random things that I ordered the previous days prior to when my subscribe and save was going to be delivered. And the box was really big. So I went down to get the box out of the mailbox. And, it was a big box, but like whatever, I thought it would be really light. Well, it was like freakishly heavy. I'm like, what did I order? Like it felt like it was full of rocks. So I put it down like in the mailroom and opened it just to like see what was in there. And this shows the prep right here. So what was in there was this. This case of Monster Zero energy drinks. So I do love a Monster Energy, and oh my goodness, if you have not had the peach flavor and you like peach flavored things, it is so deliciously peachy. So this case has 5 of the peach, 5 of the ultra, which is just the white ones, and 5 of the strawberry field, I think. Yeah, the strawberry dreams. Oh, so way to go, Prep Brain, because these are like 3 of my favorite things. And I know I've mentioned in, maybe it was just last week's video, that I have been trying to not do stimulants on this prep. Well, clearly Prep Brain Amy did not remember that. But these are, they're moderate caffeine. They have 150 milligrams of caffeine per can. And I rarely drink a whole can at once. Like I'll open a can and drink like maybe a quarter of it in the morning and then like drink it throw it back in the fridge and drink it for the next couple of mornings in a row. So super excited to have gotten this. It was a fun surprise from myself, the prep things. But it was a shock when I was like, what in the world did I get? Like, what did I have on subscribe and save? I was seriously in my mind like, what do I have on subscribe and save that's that heavy? So that was a fun surprise. And I did open one of the peach ones this morning and had about a quarter of it this morning before I went to the gym, and it was delicious. The other thing I ordered that I did know I ordered was this new book. So this book I actually had gotten from the library. So this is Paul Hollywood's Bread, How to Make Great Breads into Even Greater Meals. So when I was at my last show, I used the digital app for my library, and I'm able to get digital books, like Kindle books. And this was one of the books I had checked out. So I was reading this book while I was like in between prejudging and finals. And I'm like, wow, like I have to buy this book. I love it. So every bread recipe is paired with like a meal. So let's find one. So here's a recipe for malt loaf. So then the malt loaf, if you go past it, then there is a recipe for marmalade and meatloaf pudding. So every, bread is either paired with something or turned into something else. Like there's a trifle recipe. Oh, this is the one. This is the one that I was at the show. I'm like, I have to get this. So this was it's called a trencher bread. It's a modern day version of a medieval bread that essentially acted as an edible plate. You can serve the trencher topped with various savory mixtures, but it is especially good with my garlic and pink peppercorn lamb. Yum. Colorful and substantial. It's a great dish to set in the middle of the table, and the bread soaks up all the delicious meat juices. The dough is made with a mix of flours and a small amount of yeast to ensure a slow, low rise that will give plenty of flavor. So yeah, when I saw the recipe for the trencher with garlic and pink peppercorn lamb, I mean, so delicious. So I ordered this on Amazon and it came this week. So I'm really excited to read it again and just have all these wonderful recipes. This is a great thing about bread is that it covers so many different cuisines, and I feel like bread is key of every culture. There's some certain type of bread, and he really covers a lot of things. There's tortillas, there's biscotti, there's so many things. So I am super excited about this book. So I will link this book in the description box as well. So those were my Amazon things. let's talk about my special delivery from a friend who sent me this amazing box of spices. So, as you know from watching my previous videos, with my grocery hauls, I often buy powdered spices because, they are extremely minimal, if any macros. They're just flavoring, but they give your food great flavor, and they're really fun to play around with. So she lives in Kentucky and sent me all of these amazing spice or smoked spices. So this one is a bourbon smoked chef's blend. Oh, so yummy. And then a really big bourbon smoked garlic salt. And bourbon smoked citrus pepper. I'm excited to put this one on some shrimp or fish. They all smell a little bit like curry because she also got me this bourbon smoked curry powder. And I actually have this on my dinner, which I was just heating up while I'm recording this. So my house smells like curry also. I love curry, and this bourbon smoked curry, oh, it's lovely. It's so good. You have to like curry, of course, which I do. And oh yeah, love it. So good. Really good on cauliflower rice. Really, really tasty. Some bourbon smoked sesame seeds, which I have not cracked into just yet, but I will. And another bourbon smoked citrus pepper. This is just a different brand, I think, or a little guy. Is this a different brand? Nope, the same brand. Just a little one. Oh, wow, this one smells so smoky. So delicious. I love things that are like that smoky kind of umami kind of flavor. I like kind of big in your face flavors. So super thankful for all of this. And it came at great timing. I got it at the end of last week. So it was really a good timing on prep. Yeah, so super thankful for that as well. Makes me feel very, very, very taken care of on this prep. So that's it for the intro. Next thing you're going to see is my chiropractor visit from this week. And you can see Dr. Ryan just grastining the ever-loving everything out of my side. But wow, was it a good session. Really freed things up, which you'll see. And hopefully I got a better angle this time. And yeah, please let me know if you have any questions. Next week, oh boy, we'll be 2 and a little more weeks out. So fun stuff coming up. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I really appreciate everyone for following along on the journey. And hopefully there'll be something else that comes up this week. And we'll talk about it in the outro. Yeah, so I feel some tightness in my hip, which is, I get that from time to time.
Okay. Well, and to remember, as we start to loosen up that area, we may get certain areas going, hey, wait a second, I haven't been able to move, so it kind of says, what are you doing to me? As far as that range of motion, how's that feeling?
Much better.
Okay. Were you still feeling?
I'm not feeling a lot of discomfort anymore
at
all. Yeah, really at all. I think it's just still really getting into it, and I've been doing the stretching, the opposing stretching, which has really helped.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's work through that area. Then I'm going to add a little bit of probably shockwave down into that hip, that glute, kind of work through that. So wherever you want to be.
My hair up too, sorry. You're good. I'm having one of those mornings in prep where, if it's not attached to me, I'll forget it.
Yeah.
The mental side of things gets tough at this point. Where do I have a brain?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay. We're gonna go through that motion.
Yeah. remember everything I read in fascia trains.
Yeah.
Do you have to go up to Vail?
No, he's a hospital employee there. It's not private practice. Yeah. So, unless I want to be a hospital employee, which I do not. No, thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and do the grass and through that.
Yeah, the improvement that I've seen, especially like in my ability to kind of keep my ribs down when I'm posing, has been the most. I mean, and that's the thing that I need the most. Has been pretty shocking.
Well, and two with this, so we're gonna work through basically from that fascia plane here up and in. So if it gets too much, let me know. Good, perfect. So we're gonna stretch through.
Tickly spot.
A little harder there. Okay.
Yep.
Right there's where it is.
Yep.
Mind over that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, come back. Recheck that for me.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot better.
Okay. So as you go through, you still feeling any tightness or tension anywhere? Okay. How we feeling in that hip and that glute right now? Is that better,
Better.
worse, or same? So
Mhm.
better. So that
Yeah.
correlates us back to that tension ends are here, there.
Yeah.
Where are you feeling at in the glute right now?
I mean, I still kind of feel it here, but most less because I should. Like that's where I'm pushing.
Okay.
But it's
pushing
not that
through
like
there.
tightness that I was feeling before.
Tightness
It felt
up
like
through there.
trapped.
Okay,
Like it
so
feels-
now what I want to do is I'm going to do a little of that shock wave in through here. So let's go ahead. We're going to go face down. Stand back up, recheck everything.
Just feels so much better.
Okay, how we feeling in that glute?
Good. Like it feels really good. Like I don't feel any tension at all.
Okay.
It's just I'm so used to having that resistance, like pushing back against me. When it's not there, I can like, I feel like I stop when it hurt before, and now it doesn't hurt, so I can push. That.
Okay. So once again, I mean, it's just going through mechanically and then everything else, trying to get everything fired and through there and let you go through the motion. You know what you want to go through. Problem is it a structural limitation, anatomical and through there, or is it just can't fire to get into that? So if we get everything fired, should feel better and through there. Okay. Perfect.
I mean, like, profoundly better, but yeah.
That's what I want to hear.
I forgot I have a weird thing in my neck.
Neck? Yep, go ahead and sit right here, face that way.
It's like this spot, and it gets me occasionally. It's this weird spot that I get, and I kind of wrap it up with this. It's like
Okay. Drop that arm down to the side. And then lean to the right with the head. Check this up. Check this up. Check this up. Check this down. Check this up. Check this down. Good. Back. Turn to the right. Up down. Back. Up down. Back. And up down. Good. And back. Recheck that. So we're saying so far. That same, feeling that more deeper through there.
that right there.
So now let's go lay on your back face up. Right there.
Yep.
Yep. That's a little bit more of the joint. So we'll loosen this up a little bit more and then adjust that. Twist to the left. Get that.
Ooh.
There we go. Go ahead and stand back up. Recheck that.
It's about 90%.
Okay.
Just a little pinchy still.
So we'll pinch in there. So
Yep.
I want to take that finger, back that up, kind of get in there, tuck. Find where the tension is, a little push, a little stretch. Work back and forth to loosen that up. And what you're trying to do is get a little bit more into that capsule,
Yep.
right in through there, but then also that rectus posterior capitis major and minor in through there. So that's where obviously going to the right and tucking down will help. But going right in through here, it's actually to the left. So you get in there and go, okay, there, and then move back and forth.
Okay.
And there's the one muscle that
Yep.
actually goes the opposite way versus that, and that's going to be a little headache symptoms, a couple other things in through there a lot of times, and then loosen up right in there, add a little ice
Okay.
to that if it's still giving you a little bit of issues, but yeah, that joint was locked up pretty
Yeah.
good, so.
Ooh, I'm taller.
Yeah, other than that, no, I mean, everything's progressing. See how that is, like I said, work through that, and then we'll get in. If it's still giving a little bit of issues, add a little ice to that, so we'll knock down any inflammation that may be low grade in through there that then is irritating that nerve in through there. Yep.
Ooh, my hips feel so much better too.
Good.
Welcome everyone. It is the end of week 16. Yikes. This week really went by so quickly. It was an extremely busy and stressful week at work. We ended up having a complete catastrophic power loss at our office on Wednesday, and it just led to a lot of stress for me personally, and just my staff was amazing, but just made for a really stressful week. And then just in general, it was just a really busy, stressful week at work. So overall, the week was good, but I did not get as much of the things I needed to, like prep-wise, get done that I really need to get done, and that's making me feel a little bit anxious. You will have seen in my previous clip that I did get my chiropractor appointment in on Tuesday, and it was great. So I'll talk about that, and then I'll kind of talk about how the week went. Ooh, there goes the sun. The sun just left us. Wow, fall is falling. So the chiropractor appointment was great. I had quite a bit of inflammation afterward. You saw in the video where Dr. Ryan was really doing a lot of grastening on my obliques on the right side. And whoa, like did he ever get in there? Like I'm still pretty bruised from it. But it was notably swollen for several days. And I did have a little bit of just a 1 pound weight jump on Wednesday or on Thursday morning. But I told my coach about it. I'm like, well, I'm still a little bit swollen from the chiropractor appointment on Tuesday. That was Thursday's my 5th day in a row of lifting. So I did 4 really hard days of lifting, had the swelling, and I also only slept like an hour on Wednesday night because I was constantly getting up and checking on the building to see if we had power because we had surgery scheduled on Thursday. So I was really worried about that. And in the middle of the night when I was up doing all this checking, I ended up scratching my cornea. So any sleep that I could have gotten was completely taken away by that. But back to the appointment, he really got in on that right oblique, and it really has helped. I have been so impressed with the improvement in my comfort during posing, but also in just my ability to kind of get into my posing so much easier. So that's been great, and it's allowed me, as the little bit of practice I've gotten in this week posing, to practice or to get more into kind of the finer details of perfecting my posing, because I'm able to just drop into that pose easier. So that has been fantastic. I have another appointment with him this coming week, and then he's very good about knowing that some of these things, like I'm 3 weeks out today, so in literally 3 weeks I will be on stage. Next week is probably my last chance to have him do anything like cupping or that deeper grastening, because I do tend to, have a reaction to it, either a bruise or just some kind of marks that I'm not sure the tan would cover. Excuse me. I've recorded 4 podcasts today also. So again, just like in the intro, when my voice was a little hoarse, I'm feeling a little bit hoarse again now, because I have been talking for many hours today. But overall, I've been really impressed with the improvements that I've seen from those appointments, and really, really appreciative to all the work that Ryan has done working with me. I'm sure not everyone walks in holding their 5-inch posing heels and stripping down to a sports bra and a pair of booty shorts to pose in front of him and have him adjust it. But it's been great. So that was really good. And that was at the beginning of the week. And then, like I said, after Wednesday and the chaos with the building and scratching my cornea, and it was just kind of a lot. So one of the things that it did bring up, and I've very open and honest with how this whole process has gone, and I'm going to share this as well in hopes that it would help somebody else, but I've been feeling a little bit self-conscious just about how I look. I am quite lean at the moment, and I'm actually really happy with how much muscle fullness I'm maintaining, but I am feeling a lot of pretty extreme diet face. And on Thursday, when I had an eye that wouldn't stop watering, and I hadn't slept all night, and my side's swollen, and I had to meet a new doctor who we have a resident with us. And, the first thing I said to him was, I'm getting ready for a competition. I'm not sick. And I hate that I have to caveat that to people, but I realize that someone who doesn't understand what I'm doing, looking at me, I can look a little bit shocking or extreme. And I don't want someone to see that and think a negative thing about it. But then I also feel weird, like caveating my appearance to a stranger. The eye was a big part of it. My right eye was red and like watering, so I didn't want him to think that I was upset or crying because I was neither. I was exhausted, but I was not upset or crying. My eye was tearing, but then also that, someone who's meeting me for the first time, when I'm looking kind of creepy, and then I'm also, looking very lean, to someone who doesn't know what's going on, might look at me and think that there's something off. So, when you're around other bodybuilders, other competitors, like they get it, like this is the goal, but you start looking a little bit different to the outside world. And I don't notice and think about it. And like same thing with my coworkers, you know, I talk to my assistant about it, and you know, she's like, well, it's just, we just accept people that are in our lives, how they look, you know, even though it might be extreme. And there have been some comments that my boss has made recently that have been a little bit like discouraging or disheartening. You know, things like, when are you going to look, you know, when are you not going to look dead anymore? And things like that, that, you know, saying those things to a competitor, you know, you may be saying them from a place of concern or a place of just, you don't know what to say, but they're not helpful. Or like, or when are you going to eat again? I mean, like, I eat all the time, like I eat a lot. And so that's kind of been, it's been tough this last week, just kind of feeling a little bit like out of sorts or out of place with those kinds of things. And, you know, I've mentioned before that bodybuilding is a kind of isolating sport sometimes too, because I do just have so much going on that I'm also just kind of head down and just doing my thing. And, you know, the people around me are also doing their thing, but, you know, might be feeling a kind of way about me. So all that aside, if you're on prep and feeling those things, just know that you're not alone and those things are normal. And what we do is extreme, and people who don't understand it, they don't understand it. You know, I mean, I'm feeling quite healthy toward the end of my prep. I mean, is this a maintainable thing? No. But am I doing it in the most healthy way I possibly can? Yes. You know, and I am taking care of my health. I am eating. I am lean, but it doesn't mean I'm starving myself. You know, I'm not doing anything dangerous to get to this level. So yeah, it's been tough. And when you wake up and, you know, you don't feel pretty, you know, because my face looks really gaunt, it's been kind of challenging. So all that aside, what else happened this week? That's kind of it. Oh, my suits. So my suits shipped back on Friday. So hopefully those will show up sometime mid next week. So I'm super excited to hopefully have suits that fit. That would be amazing, especially because I'm stepping on stage soon. You know, I'm 2 weeks and 6 days out, really. I mean, 3 weeks exactly from today, but really it's 2 weeks and 6 days. So having suits that really fit me well would be fabulous. One of the main things that I have been thinking a lot about that I really need to get together this week is making a list of the things I need to have with me for the trip to the Olympia. I'm going to be driving, so making sure that I have all the food prep that I need, buying all the food in advance, because it's going to be a really tight time frame. You know, I compete on Saturday and then I leave for the Olympia on Wednesday, so I only have a couple of days and I'm working those days in between. So making sure that I have as much of that prepared in advance as possible, just so I'm not rushing or panicked at the last minute to get everything together. I am so excited to go to the Olympia. I mean, not just to go to the Olympia, but to get to meet so many of the people I've connected with online, in person, and just take it all in, you know, be surrounded by people who do what I do, and I just can't wait. So I am so excited about that. If there's anything that you guys have questions about, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you are also feeling those kind of, I call it the prep goblin, like I feel like a prep goblin. If you're feeling that way too, you know, tell me about it below. We can chat about it in the comments. But I do appreciate everyone for being here with me on this journey. And next week will be 2 weeks out. 2 weeks plus out, yikes. So lots of fun stuff. I need to get in more posing practice, reach out to my posing coach and get a final posing session scheduled, just so I can kind of get all the little kinks worked out. I think she'll be pretty pleased with some of the structural improvements from the chiropractor sessions and just from the practice in general. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all so much for being here. Please, please, please spread positivity and light to yourself and everyone around you. You are amazing. You never know what other people are going through. And I always say people are just showing up the best they can in the moment. And that same goes for you too. So you are all amazing. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it to the very end of this video. And I will see you all here next time.